Good morning, guitar, and good morning, friends. So here is the A4 40 tuning fork. I will be silent for one moment. And as you might recall, I don't use a mechanical tuner to tune in the morning. And there is a reason for that. I hope you all had a wonderfully fine Independence Day weekend. I know we sure did, because we love doing American things. We do. And hopefully you were around some friends and family, and you were all safe. So, good morning, and welcome to Jason's. I'm Jason. So, hence the singular possessive morning ritual for guitar growth. I'm here every weekday morning, beginning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm here every morning, warming up on my guitar. And I invite you to join me and us. There is a little posse of guitarists from all over the planet, and I definitely appreciate you communicating your thoughts to me in email. So I really appreciate that, and feel free to do that. A couple of you have my text message, my text numbers, and you text me, and that is certainly appreciated. One or two or three of you maybe, and that is definitely appreciated. So thank you very much for being here and carrying the torch, bearing the torch of guitar or chitarra into new generations, for new generations, being a great model of what it means to be a guitar player for the grandchildren, or your children and nieces and nephews, and just a all around great representation of what it means to be a guitar player. Yeah. So anyway, there's my gratitude practiced to get us started, and while I'm on that path, to continue along on that path and set my own intention for my own practice, the warm-up this morning. I will be working through, if you're going to join me, please do. I'm here every weekday morning. You can jump on and off whenever you'd like, but it's important, if you would bring your guitar, it's important to bring your guitar and practice along and get the seat time, because no one else can spend down those moments for you, right? So you're the one. So I have a song releasing this week, a new song. I thought the working title of it was Where the Rubber Meets the Road, but we've concluded to retitle the work as The People Still Decide, because it's there in the chorus, and I think you'll enjoy it. It's a blend of Tim O'Brien's The Crossing album, where he's coming to terms with his heritage and person, and it's got the snap, crackle, pop of Tony Rice, and the edginess of Kurt Cobain. So there's a lot going on, and the urgency of Mr. Bob Dylan. So it's a really great song. I really enjoy it. So keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out for that. I think you too will enjoy it. You'll likely want to listen to it at least twice and share it at least once. But All right, so without further ado, we'll get going. You'll notice that I have a few things tagged, a few retail items tagged in these videos because I use every morning, I use the Martin DX2, it's a D, a dreadnought shaped guitar, so the D, right? And then it's the X2E, which indicates the zero coat, sort of like high compression back and sides, and then a beautiful neck on it, beautifully straight, and then really reliable once you get it set up and stuff correctly. Beautiful nuts and saddle, all that stuff. It's a great beater of guitar, so that's here. It's the everyday driver, the daily driver. I also use, first thing, after my breath, I use a tuning fork, which is A440. It's also linked in this video. You can purchase it. They're all affiliate links, so if you do decide to use the affiliate link, it supports the channel, and we definitely appreciate you doing me a huge favor to support the channel that way. So, plus it helps you. So it's a win-win situation. The metronome is also tagged here because I use a metronome every morning at 60 beats per minute. And the capo is great, because sometimes what we do is we choke up on the guitar, similar to the way a batter would choke up on the bat to get a certain kind of hit, just to poke a bass run in or whatever. So there are reasons why we would shorten the scale length of the string set. I always keep this on my guitar, so it's a great idea. Page makes it. Great price for a great product, and I have one for every guitar, every acoustic guitar. Yeah. All right, good. Let's get going. So fingers 2 and 3 and 4 on frets 10 and 12, and we'll start here because this is a great place to start for us, because it starts with a mild finger stretch and sets the tone for our warm-up intentions. And you'll notice that once in a while I'll go silent and then focus on my breath, focus on my breathing, and here we go. It's just a whole lot of down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And while it is for every guitar practitioner, it might not feel like it's for you. So the thing about plugging into this, you have to feel like a readiness to do this kind of thing. And if you're not sort of like mentally prepared or ready, to do this kind of work, it can easily seem like it's not valuable. So I don't hold it against you if you come in and out of this situation and realize this is not for me, and it might not be for you. But if it is for you, what's going to happen is over the period of 1 year, as we spend this time together, and you with your guitar and me with my guitar, we're going to notice an order of magnitude level of improvement and confidence and capacity for both our own person, physical person, our spiritual person, our fret and picking hands, the guitar tone, because it's been active for so many hours out of the year, the surface of the guitar will actually loosen up and to sound better. So fingers 2 and 3 on 10 and 12. Here we go. That's it right there. Relying on the 60 beats per minute. That's right. And if my mind starts to wander off on like, hey, what a beautiful weekend it was this weekend, and I'm going to try to reshape my focus, reorder my thought process to be as present as possible for this warm-up. While I was talking with you just in that moment, I noticed that I'm carrying some tension in my shins and behind in my calf, my lower calf muscles, and then in my lower legs, in the back. So once I notice the trick is, if I don't notice it, I can't correct it, right? If I don't know I need help, I'm not going to get it. If I don't want the change is not going to happen, right? So if I can observe that there's something going on, then I can correct it. And that's one of the things, it's one of the benefits that this breathing brings to the table, it is awareness of your muscle tissue systems around your body and your periphery. So 1E and 2, and TE 1 and 2 and 10 and 12. Yeah, and we're not seeking to make huge noises on the guitar this morning. It's still morning for me. It might be afternoon for you, and you might want to crush through this a little louder, which is totally okay, right? Totally fine. It's whatever works for you. And the only thing that I'm doing here is really modeling the importance of this kind of thing for me. This kind of period where there's a warm-up, where there was no warm-up, and there's just a practice. Now there's a warm-up every single weekday morning. It's the first thing I do, so it sets my mind at work for the guitar. It puts me in touch with the guitar. And why do I do this? Because I, like you might be an aspiring guitar practitioner. And if you're that person, you're like, if you're anything like me, you're chomping at the bit just to get down with the guitar, fingers 2 and 4, 9 and 12. Here we go. You're chomping at the bit to get with the guitar any chance you can so that you can move the dial. You know, in some of the circles I travel in, ugly news is what we say moves the dial, but that's not what moves the dial. Not for me, not for the human. You can change, you can cause people to move and act by sharing, you know, disturbing news or behaviors on the television or the media platforms. But it's really your obligation, you know, as speaking of Independence Day weekend, it's really our obligations to share good news or whatever in good jest and good form, but sometimes you need a Rage Against the Machine. You know, sometimes you need a Pantera, you know, vulgar display of power album. Sometimes you need a John Denver or a Mr. Lightfoot. Now I've just switched to fingers 1 and 3, and I have that 3-fret spread, so it's just another day in paradise. That's right, it's just another day in paradise. That was it David Lee Roth? Was Steve Vai the guitar player in that song? Must be just like living in paradise. I think maybe it was. Yes, the guitar feels great this morning. It's been a hot minute since I've been with it, and we took, I don't know about you, but I took the entire weekend off, which is something I never do. I think I took the entire weekend off for the most part. Well, you know, most of the weekend. Oh, let's see. Oh, got something other than the bean this morning. And this is from the refrigerator, from the reefer unit. Coming off of the weekend, I didn't have time to get any warm beverages prepared, so it is what it is, friends. Let's go ahead and take a look at some more work. Fingers 1 and 4 on 7 and 12, and 2, and you know what to do. So if you're just tuning in, my name is Jason. Me llamo Jason, and je suis Jason. So it's ni hao ma. It's a really great opportunity to sit with the guitar. Willkommen, and it's I know know, if you're sitting here with your guitar doing these exercises, you're probably feeling a little bit of a burn. Maybe there's a little bit of a burn here, and then what we'll do is treat that in just one moment with some breath and some stretching. I'll show you. We'll just get through that. We'll get through this, get back down to this place from where we came. 7 and 12. Good, I think we're getting there. I think we're just starting to feel it. So why don't we go ahead and get through the 2, 3, and 4 exercises. Then we'll go ahead and stretch. 10, 11, 12, fingers 2, 3, and 4. 4 attacks per beat. If you're just tuning in, go ahead and grab your guitar. Go grab your guitar, man. Or person. It's worth doing. You know, it's so fun to just play the guitar. You know, well, I don't really have the time today. I think I'll go surfing. And, you know, that's cool too. I guess surfing's not bad. Or maybe I've got to go working. And, you know, feeding your face, you know, feeding the family's important too, you know, or, you know, paying your rent or your mortgage down, that's, you know, important. So if you have to leave to do other things, whether it's rec or responsibility, you can always catch these live streams. If you wanted to play along and get your daily dose, you can go back to my live tab right here at Jason Carey Guitar, and you can find under the live tab these morning ritual guitar videos in the series. They actually post, so they're available on demand, and they're free to watch. They're free. So if that's helpful to you, take advantage of it. Go ahead and do it. Share it with other guitar player friends who might also benefit from it. Maybe you're working a project, you're getting your 3-month program together, your package to take on the road, and you're touring. Maybe you have a good management system. So 1E and a 2E and a TE and a go. Maybe you're writing, recording, producing, and then marketing, getting on the road. There's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of work to be done. So if you think that if you need or would benefit from, you know, having this available, they are available. All of these are available for your review anytime you'd like. So at your own leisure. And today I haven't decided yet if I'm going to sort of like open up a specialization or not, but I do want to mention, if you're here right now at this moment, tomorrow is our halfway marker for the year I think tomorrow is the 8th. So tomorrow marks our 50% achievement awards, right? So we've been here for, you know, out of all of these hours we're going to do every weekday morning for the entirety of 2025. It is exciting. It's exciting. And it's hard to not be so excited during the morning session where we're supposed to be breathing calmly and rationally and be more observant. But it's very exciting for me, you know, and I'm sure it's very exciting for you. I think what I'm going to do tomorrow is do some giveaways. And in order to get those giveaways or qualify for the giveaways, I'll let you know. I'll give you the instructions tomorrow. But if that's anything interesting to you, you're more than welcome to participate. Free to participate, free to attend these for 2025. So you're more than welcome. work 2/5s this afternoon or this morning. So if you stick around, maybe we'll get into some 2/5s. But for now, what we'll do is I think I said something about 2, 3, and 4. Do the 3 finger groups and then stretch, because we must be at that time by now. So let's go ahead and give it a good stretch. We've got a straight arm. We've got 16 clicks up and 16 clicks down, and then we change arms and do the same thing. So how was your weekend? Did you get any fireworks in? I only heard fireworks. And I witnessed another kind of fireworks, but I won't get into that detail. It was a surprising thing. Not surprising, but expected, but not surprised. And a little bit surprised that, you know. But anyway, that's for another day, another time. If you're here, why not grab your guitar? Why not grab your guitar? This is a perfect opportunity for us to really deepen our relationships with the guitar. And with music in general, like, what is the thing we are after? And we all have these divergent goals. We all have these different things to do, and my agenda might differ from yours, but in the end, at the end of the day, we're all part of the same group of guitar practitioners, right? Aspiring guitar practitioners, or however you want to say it. But we're all part, even though it's just a beautiful thing where we can all have these wildly different ideas about what it is we're trying to accomplish for our own person. But as a group, we understand that to be a guitar practitioner, we need to do at least one thing. Breathe, right? If we're not breathing, we're not playing any guitar. I can tell you that. But, you know, above and beyond the basic functions of life, we have play the guitar, you know, pretty simple. It's simple and profound at the same time in my mind, because to think that anyone in this day and age, to think that anyone has the time to play on 6 strings, or however many strings, maybe you're Keith Richards, but to play the guitar, to find time to play the guitar, tocar la guitarra, and then to play the guitar and to develop it at a reasonably high level for your own benefit and satisfaction. It's mind-boggling to me that anyone would make the time to play the guitar today. You know, especially when you can rattle off a guitar line. Like, I can write a prompt and I can have an AI write off a guitar line. And it's cool, probably. I don't do it. But I do enjoy playing the guitar more than I enjoy sitting at a computer rattling off prompts. And while you know, artificial music is going to be palatable by some and unrecognizable by some, because it doesn't matter. You know, for most of us, it's just the lyrics we can relate to or whatever. But, you know, there is a craft going on here, and there is something very human about it. And you'll definitely, I can't guarantee you anything, but what I've found so far, as I reach this halfway marker, what I'm finding is that I grow to expect to be down with my guitar for an 1 hour period every morning at 7:30, and I've trained everyone else in my life to grow to accept that, and it's been by illustrating my goals, illustrating the reasons why. I find it's important for us to understand the reasons why. I think reasons why. Anybody know that song by Nickel Creek, Reasons Why? What a great tune. It's not really the 60 beats per minute, and I'm having a hard time justifying it as 60 beats. there's almost that karate chop happening, and right into a palm mute here. And it's very, very rewarding and satisfying experience. But Reasons Why is a really great recording by Nickel Creek, who's loaded with wonderful musicians, and they're all wonderful musicians in their own right. And of course, Mr. Thiele is Chris's MacArthur Foundation Genius Award winner. You know what I mean? So it's or whatever he's just taking it to a new place. So you can follow him along in the Punch Brothers band, which I again would highly recommend. If there was a place for me to start with the Punch Brothers, it would be the Phosphorescent Blues record. You know, the two people sort of like, I don't know if they're kissing or whatever, but they have the shroud. They're shrouded, and it's just a really amazing record. Like another mind-boggling record album. It's just a mind-boggling work, and the attention to detail. What you'll like about that is the music goes everywhere. And it's so well conceived and deeply conceived and practiced and performed and recorded. But it's all, traditional bluegrass instruments. So guitar, mandolin, banjo, and upright bass. And just to know that, and the sonorities and the tones, and the rhythms they run through, and the percussive elements are. I think you'll enjoy that. So maybe give it a listen and let me know in the comments if you think about it. If you wanted to drop me a comment about what you thought about Phosphorescent Blues. If you are here listening and you do enjoy checking out new things, I'm also interested in reading about what people think and their reflections about the new things. So don't hesitate to share that with us. All right, we're back to 1, 2, 3, 4. So finger 1 on fret number 9, 10, 11, and 12, fingers 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll just get started. 2 E and a T E and a go. Also, if you are here and you are even remotely enjoying this experience this morning with us, if you wouldn't mind doing me it's a pretty good favor, I think, pretty low hanging fruit for you maybe, is to smash that like button or double tap the viewport if you're watching on a mobile screen, mobile viewport. That's always appreciated, and I think reasonably low barrier for entry for you on your end. I know if it's interrupting your guitar practice, then your guitar warm-up, then maybe don't do it now, but certainly would appreciate the like later on. And that's about all the shopping for likes I do. I don't get too, hung up on the equipment I use, but I do want to mention it again. The equipment I am using is important because it's reliable, and this is why I use it. And its tone is reliable, its tuning is reliable, everything about this is working better than I expected, especially for the price point of this guitar. So I am using the Martin D. It's a dreadnought shape, and as you can see the cuts on it with the waist and the bout and stuff. So it's the D, but it's the X2E, so it's an X series guitar, from Martin. That's linked here in the video, so it is an affiliate link, so I have to disclose, I feel compelled to disclose that with you, that if you do buy, it doesn't change the price for you, but it does help our channel. So if that's something that you are able to do without sustaining injury to yourself, we certainly appreciate that support. And I also use a tuning fork every weekday morning. I do not tune with a mechanical tuner unless I'm, on a stage somewhere and I can get it done quick. And then even in the studio, I have to tune my guitar because I sweep my own tunings. And then here we go with this. The metronome is also linked, and another link that, there goes the Sennheiser. All right, so we've got another page capo here, and that stays on I have one for every acoustic guitar, I think, at least anyways. So that's available if you need one. just want to let you know. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, stretch 4. We're getting through the old ringer, and we'll just get started. 1 E and a 2, a T. Here we go. And what I find is my thumb placement. I don't know, do you ever experiment with your thumb placement on the back of your guitar neck? Because I do. I always experiment, because if I'm playing way up here on the top of the guitar neck, or way down here as we approach the bottom of the guitar neck, if I'm doing work that's focused solely on the top 3 strings, maybe it's a good idea to just get the thumb dropped down to the bottom of the neck, right? But I always stay in the middle. Let's give it a little snapshot. I always stay sort of in the middle of where my 2 outside fingers are. So you can see that it's kind of evenly distributing pressure to each fingertip. So as we continue on here, you too can just work your way through that thumb, you know, imagining, like reimagine what the function of the thumb is. And sometimes the thumb has to just come out from the back of the neck and just function as a fretting tool, you know. It's not really going to happen a whole lot in the world of Andres Segovia, I guess, but in popular rock and blues music, and even jazz, you know, I think in some other forms of music, it's accepted to, you know, use bad technique in order to capture these frets. So, you know, but for now, my thumb is behind the guitar neck, and you'll enjoy that too. Maybe so, maybe not. But eventually it will start to feel natural for you. Yeah. All right, and let's go ahead and stretch finger 1. We'll do the old kickstand. We'll kick it back. I wonder if Jill's still here. You know, I wonder who's still here. So it's still kind of weird for me not to be able to see live chat rolling by. But I have to admit, as much as I enjoy the live chat and being for the morning ritual, I equally enjoy just being able to work through my program. I mean, and I know you can understand and appreciate that. So 1 and 2, and here's the count, 4 tacks per beat, but this time we're kickstanding that first finger back. All right, 1 E and 2, here we go. Well, it's great to, you know, seek to understand what others are doing on the internet. It also, it's a time and place thing for me, you know, and, you know, I'm an unapologetic kind of person, and the decisions I make I'm confident in them, and they're typically final, right? And I just don't look back. You can't look back. You have to only look forward, and you don't have to agree with the thing, right? But it's about, there's no substitute for spending the time on you. There's no substitute for finding the road to you, right? And the road to you is, you know, it's found in so many ways. But this morning ritual for guitar growth for me is very specifically organized to produce the best result for the self, because like again, charity starts at home, and if I can't help myself, I can't help others, right? So I just look at this warm-up as a way to really help myself become a more aware and mindful guitar practitioner, and less of a live chat communicator. Now, the live chat is definitely a wonderful thing, and it does provide that continuity of companionship that maybe we miss a little bit in this format, but it's a trade-off, I think. It's a little bit of a trade-off, isn't it? But the people who, you know, those of us who would like to communicate, we still communicate via jason@jasoncareyguitar.com via email, or growth@jasoncareyguitar.com, or I really appreciate all of the people who've been visiting the website at jasoncareyguitar.com and communicating there. That's been really great. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and do. What time are we looking at here? We're like 10 past 8. So we're burning. The clock is burning down. I want to get these 1, 2, 3, 4s going, and then I think because we've been working the pentatonic system so much, I don't want to leave those out. So I do want to continue with pentatonicism today. And we'll go ahead and just run straight up and down, straight through these. But what I'll do is try to truncate this one into a shorter exercise, a shorter warm-up, so that we can get to parallel planing each shape. Parallel planing to me is where the rubber meets the road. It's where you know, I can take any idea that I have and move it to its upper and lower neighbor, and that could function as imitation, variation of a theme. So repetition is, you know, how we, I don't know if any of you, I know I was going off pretty hard about Miles Davis's Kind of Blue album, So What, last week. If any, and I don't know if any of you had taken the time yet to listen to the So What. So What? It's a master class in theme and variation, like, you know, inverting the intervals or planing the intervals, but it's not always obvious. There's a lot going on in that master class of a horn solo. So, you know, I would, you know, maybe work on transcribing the solo or something, but there's a lot going on there. But I think transcribing that stuff is great, but parallel planing these shapes. So we'll start with our known pentatonic shape. And it's the old 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4. 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4. And we're just going up and down, parallel planing. Remembering that the root note here could be any one of these, but for now we'll call the root note here. We'll call the root note under fingers 1, 3, and 1. That way we can tonicize every pattern. And then you can start doing these really crazy patterns. So that's where this really starts to take off, is once we develop some familiarity and with each pattern and each segment of each pattern, or the patterns within the patterns, or the hidden patterns. You know, there's really a tremendous amount of research to be done in this department. And any scale department, and all of the scales, we know the same research is to be done, but the pentatonics only have 5 notes per scale as opposed to 7 and 8 or more per scale, which is a lot to manage, right? So these patterns start to emerge and start to present nicely in a pentatonic system. So I think that's one of the reasons why the pentatonic scale remains the favorite of so many musicians around the globe. modality of the original minor pentatonic that we just started with. This is, I would consider maybe mode 2 or whatever, the pentatonic formats of the minor pentatonic format, because this is major pentatonic, which could be considered mode 1. But anyway, blah, 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 a lot of talky stuff. Let's go ahead and use this next beautiful shape. This is one I love this particular shape when I use, I love to step back and grab that, but I also love to have a pentatonic shape that has 3 notes on one string with the fret hand instead of 2 notes on every string. So this is a fun one for me personally. So I love this one. You can do it with me if you like. 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, and then stretch 4, and then there's only one note. This is the killer. It's really the kicker here. It'll help you decide whether you like this shape or you don't like this shape. I'll never use that shape again. He's an idiot. So hopefully you don't feel that boldly about it, but it's okay if you do. I've been called worse, you know. So we've got 1, 3, 1, 3. So 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1. We could also stretch 1 back to grab that note, the same note back here, so that we maintain 2 notes per string. Some of us like that, and there is definitely an appreciation by me for this. So you could play it either way. But again, you don't need me to approve or disapprove anything that you do, right? You are doing your thing, and I'm just happy that you're able to do your thing and not worry about it. All right, talky. Let's go play. Let's get playing. I'm just going to say, you hear the clicks going by at 60 beats per minute. I'm just going to say 4E and you can get an idea about where exactly the root note is here. Memorizing the shape as well as building speed for later on. We're building a speed platform here. I don't know if you know this, but we're working on, if you show up here every weekday morning and at the end of the year, I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to just burn through this. But, you know, is really burning through the thing our goal, you know, for some of us? Absolutely. We want to strike fear into the hearts of other guitar players with our speed and agility. But, you know, I have to remember that's not really the flash and the vanity of the thing isn't really my goal. My goal is to attain something that's spiritually meaningful for my own person. And I can only do that if I focus on that, right? Otherwise, it's a rat race. And I'm so unhealthily competitive, I'll work until I outdo everybody around me, you know? But I'm only working to outdo myself, the man I was the day before, yesterday, right? So I'm only trying to improve who I was yesterday. And that can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. The next shape is this one, and it's the old, I'm going to move the original minor pentatonic shape to root 5, and that's kind of what this basically reminds me of, because It's the same, it's basically the same fingering, but we have that funky kick back for the, or kick up for the B string, because the B string is too funny, you know, it's just that one string that, it's part of the team, but you know, like, it's funny, it's tuned differently, so it makes me do all these other weird fingerings, but then you grow to be thankful for it being tuned like that, because it makes all of these other chords that we play and scales that we play on the guitar actually doable, you know. So the standard tuning is just although we take it for, I take it for granted, I can't say anything about how you take it, but I do know that I've grown to take standard tuning for granted because I play in it so much, I tune to it so much over the span of a lifetime. I've grown to just accept it for what it is, and that's just easy. Let's get it done. Alternate tunings are great, but hey, I'm going to practice in standard today, and I just do it every day. So it's there's nothing saying I can't practice in dadgat every day or warm up in dadgat. So maybe we start exploring what it means to tune up in different or altered tunings or altered variations of standard, or just completely blast the guitar with open G or open E or open D, or drop D, E flat, standard drop with a drop D flat. And we can explore a bunch of different things. But for now, I think we'll stick to standard tuning. And the next shape is going to look like 2-4-2-4, 1-4-1-4, 2-4-2-4, 1, 2. You know what to do. And lightly carbonated drinks is not, they're not really the thing to consume while you're doing a live stream. Oh, just a heads up. Take one for the team over here. And how do you employ pentatonics in your systems, in your playing, in your writing? Do you actually write with pentatonicism in mind? And here's another question I do not need an answer to, but if you would like to share that answer, do you sing melodies over the span of the day? Do you hum or whistle or sing those melodies that might be floating around in your head, or some that you're working on? If you do, are they typically pentatonic melodies, or are they typically diatonic melodies? And I guess I'm interested in that because pentatonic system is so accessible, and I think my theory leads me to believe that most of us will be writing songs or melodies in using some kind of a pentatonic system with, you know, embellishments that bring us outside of that traditional system. But I'm curious to hear about this. I know there are a couple people who watch, not regularly, but that write using full scales and exotic scales and that kind of stuff. So just some things to think about while we're off of the guitar. I've got one more stretch to do for today, and I'm going to do that right now, and you can join me if you like, or take off, and I wish you a good day, or you can come back. I've got another 10 minutes or so just to kind of finish winding down. But I think at this point I'm starting to put together the pieces of my warm-up and start shifting my mental game into a practice environment. So here's what happens, and this is what I call the specialization at the end of every session, if there is one. Sometimes there's no specialization, but the specialization for me is the transition of the warm-up environment, the sacred and quiet and focused and purposeful warm-up, into the world of practice, which is more like what ifs, and solve these problems, solve for X, solve for Z flat, or solve for L because it sounds like L when I'm playing, you know, solve for the problems that are coming up. So take those things, those fingerings and that warm body, and make it useful. And let's think about something that we could, let me think for a second on this. All right, let's think about what would make sense to specialize in today for the last 5 or 10 minutes. And let's see if what we're thinking ends up to be in alignment. All right, let's just think about it for a few more seconds. I'm going to give it a good think, like a reasonable think. I'm going to think about what it is I feel like I should specialize or transition my mind into as I wake from warm-ups. As I wake from my warm-up and get ready, my mind is flipping a switch into active practice mode now. What is the first thing that comes to my mind? And how am I going to treat that? How am I going to solve for that? The first thing that comes to my mind this morning is like the theme of proficiency. And that proficiency is whether I am strumming or picking. I want to know, I feel like the proficiency is important to be coming from the picking hand. And I know I can do this kind of thing. I can build those proficiencies with one exercise that we've already done today. So now I'm starting to build away from the warm-up with that 1, 2, 3, 4 exercise. You know the exercise. I mean, if you're just tuning in, I'm Jason, and welcome to my morning ritual for guitar growth. And you're more than welcome to join me and grab your guitar. I'm here every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. You can communicate with me if you'd like at Jason or jasoncareyguitar.com or growth@jasoncareyguitar.com. You can email me anytime you like. And don't hesitate. Reach on out. Let me just get this in tune. Something's changed here and all right. Here we go. That's it. All right, so let's take a look at what happens when I really want to just develop a proficiency in my picking hand. And that will translate very well to other parts of the guitar and other places of this particular proficiency will communicate well throughout all of my practice attempts. And that is to do this. Take this moment and then skip a string, right? So now what I'm doing with the string skipping, why am I doing this? To increase proficiency. What are we doing? We're going to use that 1, 2, 3, 4 exercise, and instead of use the the finger roll that we would normally do, and then do those kinds of things, we're going to add a string skip between one string and the next. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Then go back to the string that we skipped. And this causes our fret hand or picking hand to become familiar, more intimately familiar with the range, and then the stops, the indexing of the string groups on the string set. So this is a supremely helpful exercise. I've benefited from this over the years. This kind of thing, it seems simple, and it seems like you could also, mix it up. You don't need to use all fingers 1, 2, 3, 4, and then one skip to the D string, 1, 2, 3, 4. Go back to the A, 1, 2, 3, 4, skip up to the G, skipping over the D. Go back to the string we skipped, skip up to the B, and go back to the skipped string. All right, we could also do this 1, 2, 4, 3, 4, 3, 1, 2, and then do the next string group up. do all of that work. That work really expands proficiencies in the both fretting and picking hands. Another thing that I would recommend checking out is just starting here with 1, 2, 3, 4, and then skipping the string. And then also rolling up while having skipped a string can really train that fretting hand to be totally, agile. So another thing that we could do is create our own permutations, and I like to write these down in my book. I carry with me everywhere I go when I practice and warm up, just to jot ideas and manage the ideas so they don't come and go, so they actually get worked on. But we could just do one of these. We could, instead of skipping one string, we could skip 2 strings. Those are good things, and also we could use that finger roll to get from this string to the G string. So how do we accomplish that? This causes us to do one of 2 things. We can learn where to land that 4th finger, and then these fingers arch while the 4th finger is laid down, right? And then what I have to do is get back to the A string without lifting and going back. So I end up doing the fold, the lay over for the 1st finger, so that and instead of using, what we're doing is just getting familiar with string gaps, right? Then that kind of work. That's the kind of work that we want to be doing in a practice environment, or after we absorb those things in a practice environment and get them to the place of playability, we can start to introduce those into our warm-up environments, right? So that's great. We're at the bottom of the hour, just in time to say goodbye and for the day. And thank you so much for being here, friends, and we'll see you again tomorrow. And again, happy Independence Day, and I'm so thankful that you're here watching and playing along with me here at Jason Carey Guitar. Until we meet again, I wish you happy picking.